Bored of inadequate film podcasts?
Frustrated by amateurish, immature content creators masquerading as film critics?
Then we have just the film podcast for you.
It's called Kermode and Mayo's Take.
And you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. Roll the tape. Okay, so here comes the box office top 10. Number 14 is The Dead of Winter,
which I think is terrific. I think Emma Thompson is great in it, and I think it's got, it's a really well-told thriller that I didn't know anything about it other than the title when I went in. And obviously it's a bit Fargo in the accent and also in the tone, but it's, I thought it was terrific, and Emma Thompson is great in it.
It's number 13 in the US and Canada. Thomas Tull. Let's go with Thomas Tull. Greetings, more camera and wiser. A trip to our local flea pit in Swords, County Dublin on Saturday to enjoy Dead of Winter. As I do not want to reveal anything about the plot, I will merely say impressive performances all round, with Emma Thompson excelling in her role that I now think of thanks to one specific scene as Granbo. Now we look forward to our next cinematic adventure. Thanks to you for you and your crew for stellar work, Thomas Tull. Thank you very much. Thomas. So does Granbo make sense to you? I can kind of imagine where that's taking us.
It does, but I think that thing about, let's not say, because one of the reasons I really enjoyed it, I said this in the review, was that I knew so little when I went in I didn't even know what genre it was. I just assumed that from Dead of Winter it was a thriller, but that was all I knew.
Number 13, Spider-Man 2.1.
So this is the slightly longer version of Spider-Man 2 because the Tobey Maguire movies are back in cinemas because it's some kind of anniversary.
Number 10 here, number 10 over there. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey.
About which we had a very interesting listener correspondence last week saying that somebody had been to see it and really liked it and really found it moving. It didn't work for me. I think it's Kogonada's least successful film, but I admire its ambition. I do. I think that I just wish that it came together better than it did.
Number 9 is Bad Guys 2.
10th week in the charts. And I have nothing more to say about it than what I've said every time, which is it's Bad Guys 2. Bad Guys, it's that, but 2.
Number 8 in the UK, number 3 in Canada, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle.
So, again, as I said when I talked about it last week, visually I thought it was really impressive. I can't pretend that I understood what was going on all the time because I didn't, because I'm not sort of steeped in this. But just from a kind of visual point of view, I enjoyed it. Obviously, the people who have made it the big hit that it is know much more about the story and the story arcs than I do.
Number 7 is They Call Him... Is that OG or OG?
Well, I imagine it's OG. So I haven't seen this. This wasn't press screen. This is an Indian action crime film. If anyone's seen it, let us know. We say this every week. It wasn't press screen, so didn't get a chance to look at it.
When I saw this, I thought it was The Stranglers Chapter 2, but it's not. At number 6 here. Number 5 in America is The Strangers Chapter 2.
Yeah, The Strangers Chapter 2, not to be confused with The Strangers 2, They Pray at Night. This is actually The Strangers 4. And it's part of the Rennie Harlin trilogy, which is 3, 4, and 5. And considering that the first Strangers movie was not that great the first time round, but is now considered to be a cult classic, I think largely on the basis of the fact that so many of the sequels have been so pedestrian. I mean, it did give me an opportunity to say that at one point the heroine is attacked by a boar. She was nearly bored to death. So were the rest of us. So for that, I'll give it a pass, but it's rubbish.
Adam Kamak says, as a fan of The Strangers 08 and its sequel, along with Rennie Harlin, I straight up don't understand the point of this trilogy. They might be the most unnecessary movies in existence.
Very good.
And that's from a fan.
Yes, exactly.
Top 5 at number 5, although 24 in America, is The Roses.
Yeah, still haven't. I mean, I'm going to. Every time I see that poster.
No, you're not.
I will.
Let's be honest.
It was that or Demon Slayer, okay? So I did Demon Slayer. Yeah. Give me a break.
How many weeks does it have to be in the chart until you go and see it? What would you think?
I don't know. I keep hoping that it's going to be gone. Apparently, it's quite good. I mean, people.
So you're not going to see it?
No, I will. I'll try. Look, I was off for a week. And there's one film that I haven't seen as a result of being off for a week.
There it is, at number 5, The Roses. But it's number 24 in America, so who cares? The Long Walk is at number 4.
again, fascinating correspondence last week from somebody who wrote in and said for them it was a film about friendship and they found it really moving as that. I mean, I found it an incredibly bleak dystopian portrait which rings true in modern day America, despite the fact that it was written specifically in response to the Vietnam War. So once again, Stephen King is the source that keeps on giving. Guitar fell off the wall. Wouldn't be a show if the guitar didn't fall off the wall.
No, it's always. I always want it to sort of.
Always want it to happen
as it falls. I'd like it to strum a note or something. So it's a long walk at number 4. Number 7 in America. Number 3 here, 4 over there is The Conjuring Last Rites, about which we have said enough, probably.
Yes.
Number 2 here and number 6 in America is Downton Abbey, the grand finale. So you have to say that's doing pretty well, all things
yes,
considered.
but we never thought it wouldn't. There was never any suggestion that Downton Abbey, with the huge fan base that it has, in a movie that does exactly what it says on the tin, was going to do well. The one point that I made about it when it came out, and I stand by this, is as far as independent cinemas are concerned, this is the kind of thing, this is the gift that we'll keep giving, because particularly with the older audience, you can keep playing this and it will pack the cinemas out. And so good for it. I mean, I thought it was a very unremarkable film, but it was doing exactly what it needs to be doing, and it is bringing people into cinemas.
Left-wing dressing gowns ahoy at number 1 here and over there, one battle after another.
Well, why don't you do emails first? Because, I mean, honestly, I looked back at the length of the review last week, and it was one of the longest reviews I'd done, so I think I've said a lot. I mean, I loved it. What do the emails think?
Dear Glottal Stop and Mumbles, this is from DT. I greatly enjoyed Mark's review of the latest Paul Thomas Anderson film, but couldn't work out for the life of me why it was called Wombat Laughter Another. Perhaps I misheard. So, Wombat Laughter Another was the 3-word title that DT heard, as opposed to One Battle After Another. Anyway, apparently lots of other people have said the same thing. So it's the Wombat film. Thomas Kirkby on our YouTube channel. Johnny Greenwood is the Leonard Bernstein second coming. Just got out of a screening and wow. In Mission Impossible, the stunts were great, but you knew Tom was going to make it because he's Tom Cruise. Here, the car chase, I didn't know who was going to live or die. Highly reminiscent of Sam Peckinpah, Dr. Strangelove, French Connection, Coen Brothers, and Russ Meyer, ? Tony in Todmorden. Just wanted to say on Johnny Greenwood's score for One Battle After Another, the use of chaos in the score was beautifully resolved in those little password devices that detect each other in close proximity. After hours of chaos and the most artful car chase I've ever seen, we finally hear harmony when the lead characters see safety, and it's diegetic, masterful stuff. I think it's the kind of thing, well, that's a bit of a spoiler, I suppose. There's a thing that gets set up very early on, and you think, okay, that's going to resolve itself a little bit later on, as indeed it does.
Yeah.
Yada 7360, that car chase scene by itself needs a nomination for cinematography.
It does.
Dear Paul Thomas and Anderson, from Arthur, student of the Portsmouth Karate Club, Shotokan of the England Karate Union. And it is that which is the key, I think, to this email. What a disappointment One Battle After Another has been. Admittedly, I went in with very high expectations following PTA's past work and excellent recent reviews, but I would never have anticipated leaving the theatre feeling so uninspired. Despite the film being in many ways well produced, with interesting performances, it invokes and plays around with a great deal of extremely present issues and movements, immigration, racism, white supremacy, black revolution, without ever feeling like it's able to connect with any of it. While I can't claim to be an expert on these topics, I suspect many people closer to these elements in real life will have a great deal to say. The best metaphor I can use is the one scene I can offer informed opinion on, the brief scene in which the young Willa is performing Hyen Niden Kata at her local karate club. As a first Dan black belt, I was able to recognize the kata immediately, and that the actress was using the right moves in the right order, but without apparent understanding how each movement is applied. The result is a kata lacking the dynamism to give it impact or show that the student understands what they've been taught. While the scene itself didn't bother me, it provided a useful metaphor for the rest of the film, for the whole film. All the right movements, in all the right order, but no sense it understands any of it, according to Arthur.
Okay. I mean, we used to have a sort of long-running correspondence on The Hill Upon Which I Shall Die, And actually, this does sound a little bit like that. I mean, when Paul Thomas Anderson was talking about that central piece of casting, he said we were looking very specifically for, a person of this age and this ethnicity and a background in martial arts and a thing. And he said, we looked for however long it was. I think he talked about, like years and years and years. I mean, look, I'm deferring to your knowledge of what she's doing, but I think that the phrase that stands out there is that she gets all the moves right. I think you may be looking
in the
for
right order.
I think you might be looking for a different, for a level of depth in an actor who's playing that role. Then again, it was the setup for then a very neat. Oh, and this is a metaphor for the film itself. So, although I don't agree with you, I admire the writing.